This is the Amy Benedict panel. And, let's just dive right into it. Without further ado, please give a very warm Long Island welcome to the lovely Amy Benedict. Woo! All right. Have a seat. So, welcome to Long Island. Is this your first Doctor Who convention?
It is my first Doctor Who convention. I've done a couple of Star Trek ones, but this is my first Who.
Be nice, be gentle with poor Amy. I don't want to
Yeah.
stick you with spears or anything like that. We are, I want to get into some of the specifics of working, on Torchwood and Deep Space Nine, of course, because there might be some sci-fi buffs in the room. But I would like to let's go back and start with some generalities, because, you're the Doctor Who crowd and what have you. So, right off the bat, I always like to ask any filmmaker or actor or anybody in the industry, there's got to be that one title, whether it was a film, a television show, or a play. There's got to be that one title that when you saw that at that early age, you said, "That's what I want to do." Yeah. What was it?
I can't remember what. I do remember that when I was in a play, when I was in third grade, I had to play. Remember the Carol Burnett show, and it was Harvey Korman and who was the little guy?
Tim Conway.
Tim Conway.
Yeah, Tim Conway. So I had to be like the old man that Tim Conway used to do, and it taught me comic timing, and it was so much fun, And I was pretty shy, but when I got up on stage, I could be this other character, and that inspired me, and ever since then I wanted to do
Not
this.
bad. That's as far as inspirations go.
I was Tim Conway.
You're over here talking about over here doing this with the old.
Well, then I was on Mama's Family years later. So.
That would segues are for children. Because it was going to lead me into your first credit, which is
Actually, my first credit was Family Ties.
no Family Ties. That's
Yeah.
right. That's
Yeah.
right.
And I got.
I should bring up my notes before I speak that out. Go ahead.
No, that's okay, because then I think Mama's Family came next, and I was in like 3 or 4 episodes as Bubba's girlfriend, and then we get divorced. We broke up, and then that was that because he was funny, but that was a really fun show to work on because they treated it like a play, so you could rehearse it.
As you do, which we don't get these days.
No.
You show up on the day. You're lucky if you get a blocking, or you'll get a blocking rehearsal. You're lucky if you're able to have any actual rehearsal.
And out of order, yeah.
All that fun stuff. But after Mama's Family, and then you quickly went right on to 30-something.
Yeah, so I was the babysitter on 30-something for a while, and then I have to remember my own. And then I did a bunch of after-school specials.
Oh yeah.
Because I was 22 playing 16. I used to get pulled over in Los Angeles for driving under the age. So I thought I'd get tickets all the time.
Better driving under the age or driving under the influence. Or driving under the influence under the age, even worse.
Fortunately, never that. But
Especially in LA.
yeah.
Okay.
And then I did a bunch of TV shows. Hunter.
Yeah, Fred Ryder, yeah.
Yeah. And I counted it. I was in my career, I've been the murderer 5 times, and I've been murdered
Hopefully she doesn't get up and walk.
6 times. So I need to
Even out the
even
score.
out the score. Yeah.
You need to die again or kill again?
I need to kill him.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I've been warned before. I'm a guest one with my fan for the show. And then, we also, some of the titles we've already mentioned are very, the movie was very prolific with these titles don't end. I'm a huge 24 fan. Talk about getting involved in 24 and what was that?
That was the one where I was killed off camera. But I was 6 months pregnant with my daughter, and I don't know if that helped me or not, but I just remember when I was pregnant, I got quite a few jobs, and that was a lot of fun. But I did meet Kiefer Sutherland once, and then so that was pretty exciting. But yeah, 24 was fun, and then on and then I did the CSI a little bit.
CSI, yeah, I've never with CSI, I've never with CSI.
Yeah.
Radford,
That was the murder one, it's like murderer one, so I killed someone, yeah, I killed someone.
I see a trend happening here. What about LA Law? You got to do some LA Law as well?
Yes, I died on that one. I was, that was a big part. I was a witness, and the guy who played the serial killer who got me. 2 weeks later, I did this movie called Quicksand with Kiefer Sutherland's dad, with Donald Sutherland, and the guy who killed me played my boss. So yeah, he was in Thelma and Louise. He played the bad guy in Thelma and Louise. Yeah. Tim Carhart.
Now, you did some more time though in some soap operas, specifically General Hospital.
Yeah.
To talk about for people that aren't say as well versed in how this works, a soap opera set and an irregular set, or a film set or a TV set,
Yeah,
radically different things. Could you maybe delineate?
It was so much fun because, and that was another one where I died. Which is I did, yeah, that was on camera. So I helped. There were these guys who were twins, and somehow I was picked to be the occupational therapist of the serial killer in the prison, which makes no sense whatsoever. And I helped him escape, and he faked his death and was buried. So the set was a graveyard cut in half, so you could see, the cutout of the grave. So I had to jump down and take a hammer and take out all the nails. It was like a really physical job and so much fun. Like sometimes actors are like, I'm not going to do a soap opera, but soaps are so fun. You go to work, you have a crazy time, and it's a great gig if you can get it. So I did that for about 6 months.
I did a film called Carpool Guy, and it was made up.
I think I've heard of that.
You probably have. It was directed by Corbin Burnson, whose mother is Jeannie Cooper, who was
and
LA Law as well. Yeah, and Corbin wanted to kind of give back to the soap industry, so the entire film Carpool Guy, it's all cast with soap opera actors because you never get to see them as much on the big screen. The only caveat of shooting a film with all soap opera actors, you could only shoot on weekends.
Oh, yeah.
Monday through Friday there, so it took several months to shoot.
Oh, wow.
But it was all weekend work with Laura Lee Bell, Jeannie Cooper, all the great Rick Hurst, all these greats from all these different soap operas in one film. Yeah.
Who were you?
Laura Lee Bell. I was the first AD. I was the one stressing.
Oh, okay.
I'm not an actor. You don't want me in front of the camera. I'm more suited behind the camera, actually. But yeah, soap opera, the style of shooting in soap opera, the style of shooting night and day.
Yeah.
Night and day. So finally, some science fiction started coming and knocking. It was Deep Space Nine, obviously, before Torch would talk about the Deep Space Nine, the Maquis, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, that was so much fun because I got to be a Bajoran. So I had like hair extensions, crazy earrings, and I got a nose.
Caterpillar.
And a nose. And, I wanted to save it for, posterity or whatever. And then I remember I got it out of the box like 5 years later, and it pretty much disintegrates. But, I don't know what I was going to do with it. But that it was very fun too. And the set was, this sort of Bajoran jungle. And I had a baby who was the most comatose baby in the world in my arms.
Was that like stage 16 where they built all the planets?
Yes, yeah. And I got to go into to the Enterprise, which everybody does. And it was great. And the fans of General Hospital and Star Trek had like the best fans. Yeah, and they know so much more about it than I do. Especially the later Star Trek stuff. I haven't caught up on some of those, but I didn't know what a Bajoran was. That was really fun. And I had just come off doing this movie called Sneakers, which
Agent Mary. The last
yes.
Agent Mary.
Yeah, the one holding the Uzi, and that was very fun. That was really a lot of. It was nerve-wracking.
But you're working with a lot of hacks, like project. I mean,
Yeah,
no one really,
yeah. Sidney Poitier is very shy, was very shy, but very nice. James Earl Jones,
of course.
amazing. His voice is that he has, he's super nice. Everybody on that film was really, really nice. So then after that, I got, quite a few credits, and then I got married. So
It's come to a different ballgame. Let's talk about Torchwood. Is later on, obviously,
yes,
down there. That's obviously some people who have seen you in that. Talk about, some of us haven't seen Miracle Day in a hot minute. It's Miracle Day, right?
yeah.
So we haven't seen it in a hot minute. Give us a quick reminder and talk about landing that day.
Well, the episode I did was rendition, and that was when, one of the things he did was Dr. Juarez in it. So she's had this, we're part of a committee of doctors and trying to figure out what to do because nobody's dying. And meanwhile, Jack is on a plane and he gets poisoned by the actress Susan Severance, who plays Gemma in Severance. And we have to tell them, Mickey Pfeiffer, we have to explain to them how to save his life with parts of the train. He's been poisoned with cyanide. And so they tear apart this plane to get the antidote. And then later, we're looking at a severed arm in an operating room that's still alive. And so they put a mechanical arm on there, but it didn't look realistic enough. So they took a gaffer and gave him a bunch of makeup, and he put his arm up over the table, and that was a little bit more.
Any memories of working with any of the cast? Any specific memories working with that cast?
Her last name is Tor. I came to the one who plays Dr. Juarez. She's super nice. I did meet briefly John Barrowman, who, I think at that point I didn't realize, I thought he was American. I wasn't sure if he was American or British, but he does a great, like all British actors, does a great American accent. And yeah, Mickey Pfeiffer, I met him too.
Yeah, I worked with him. He's great.
Yeah.
Isn't Barrowman, isn't he American though? I mean,
Yes.
American.
He's British.
He's Scottish. He was in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he lives out here in America. He lives out in Palm Springs. Yeah.
Of course he does.
Of course he does, as you do. I hope you didn't get to see too much of Barrowman like a lot of his other cast members have in the past have maybe complained about from time to time. The science fiction world can be very, they come with their own fan bases, obviously.
Yeah.
Do you find that a difference in the science fiction fans you meet than, say, a soap opera fan or whatever?
Oh, yeah. It is a big deal. Like, I think with the soap opera world, it's harder sometimes for the fans really believe in the storylines and often refer to you as your character. With science fiction, fans are very well aware you're an actor, but they just love the camaraderie, they love the storylines. Star Trek has some of the kindest, nicest cast members and creators, I think, of any show I've worked on. And so that's why, you don't see as many, there are soap opera conventions, but that's why you see more of, the Star Trek conventions and the science fiction. I was a huge scientific sci-fi nerd when I was younger. I read all the...
all right, let's get into that.
Yeah.
I want to know.
I read Illustrated Man by Ray Bradbury. I was a huge Ray Bradbury fan, and I did some monologues from some of his work when I was in high school, and then Stephen King, which it's supernatural more than. And when we were little, the original Star Trek, I would watch that every Saturday night with my family, and I think I've probably seen all of them. And now my brother Rob Benedict, yeah, he's supernatural, and he got to know William Shatner pretty well on the convention circuit, and he's a riot apparently. Just
Shatner?
Yes, yeah, just very, very funny. He calls my brother Kid all the time. Kid.
And your brother, he wrote for as well, like performer, right? Like the different songs he would perform.
Yes, so he has a band that started playing the Supernatural conventions, and now they are the house band. And his three bandmates that's all they do now, is they just play at these conventions. And the band is so tight, is so good, because they're playing constantly. So we went to go see them at the Troubadour, which is a big nightclub in Los Angeles a few months ago. So they were amazing.
Yeah, you never know who's like does that double duty. Like the work is actor, like, come see my band.
Yeah.
What? Like CSI New York. I didn't know that Jerry Sinise had his own band. And
Yeah.
we went down and saw it at Barney's Beer.
Yeah, he did in Chicago too. Like,
Now Rob's doing he did the Boys, the Splinter on the
He did
Boys.
the